We're here to talk about the various neighborhoods in Long Beach, and we're going to call this Know Your Neighborhood. So we're on the east side of Long Beach today. And in the east side of Long Beach, we've got some great neighborhoods. We're going to look at Zaffaria, Rose Park North and Rose Park South, Bluff Heights, and Carroll Park. We're here today at El Terrazzo, which is a Mexican restaurant on 10th Street near Temple, and it's in the Zaffaria district. It's a really interesting neighborhood. We're here looking at a couple of properties. We actually sold one up on Junipero or Juanapero. We're here to have a great lunch and see what they have to offer. So right off of Anaheim and Redondo, one street over, the first street to the west is Coronado, north of Anaheim Street. It's an older kind of industrial street, and there's all kinds of really cool coffee shops and little restaurants and some antique stores. It's actually become a really hip, cool spot in the neighborhood. So as you explore Zaffaria, you're finding all kinds of new places that are evolving from what it used to be. So we're going to talk about Rose Park. And Rose Park itself is just north of 7th Street, and it's a great historic neighborhood. It was one of the first designated historic neighborhoods besides California Heights. And right off of Orizaba and 8th Street is a great old circular park. And it's called Rose Park because they have all these rose bushes in the park, and the people whose homes are right around the edge of the park have kept them up really well. They're typically all craftsman style homes, and the area is designated historic, which means if you want to paint your house, you got to get a certificate of appropriateness of whatever color you're going to paint it. Just know that, and they probably won't let you change the windows either. But it makes the neighborhood really cool and uniform. A lot of new businesses have started up along 7th Street, and in fact the area that used to just be called Eastside Long Beach, which is just south of 7th Street, is now called Rose Park South. So in the southern part of the Rose Park area, we have Rose Park Roasters, and they actually roast their own coffee. It's become a real source of pride in the neighborhood, and you can order up your roasted coffee and have it delivered, either the beans or the coffee, by bicycle. And if you go just a tiny bit north on Gladys, you'll see this really unusual skinny house. And at one time it was in the Guinness Book of World Records as the skinniest house. I've actually seen it on the market and for sale several times. It is really an unusual property. I don't think it would be for me. Part of the Bluff Heights neighborhood, which is south of Rose Park and to the west, south and west, is another area called Carroll Park. Carroll Park is just a really interesting old neighborhood in Long Beach, and it's characterized by streets that are kind of circular and they connect to each other. And you can see how much smaller they are than our modern streets because they were constructed at a time when they had smaller cars like Model Ts. And the homes have all been maintained by people in the neighborhood for many years. When I grew up in Long Beach, we spent a lot of time in Carroll Park because we went to church right by there. And every Sunday we seemed to be in Carroll Park, parking our car and walking back into church. Carroll Park's a fascinating area. The values are really good in the Carroll Park area. A lot of pride in that neighborhood. And around the corner, 4th Street at Junipero is the beginning as you continue to the west, and they call that area Retro Row. And it continues all the way down now to almost Alameda Street. And again, it's crowded with unique shops, retail shops that have a lot of fun stuff in them. People like to just go down there. There were some thrift stores and things that are interspersed in there, and some really great restaurants. In fact, we did one of our Long Beach bites at the Socialist restaurant that's owned by the folks that own Lola's, the Navarros, and they have actually 4 restaurants throughout the city of Long Beach. They're really good. Really some neat places to explore and try. The Art Theater is its own unique landmark because it's an old original theater, and it's survived to this day, and they have unique kind of artsy films and stuff, and it's a magnet for fun stuff. So check out Retro Row.